Welcome to another edition of the Tiger Football Report, coming to you from Barley's backyard, right on York Road. This is the place to come, isn't it, Coach?
All the time.
And I know you're here all the time. Anyway, we are ready for another edition of the Tiger Football Report. Spiro Marikas along with the head coach of the Tigers, Rob Ambrose. And Coach, Tigers coming off a victory last week as you defeat Stony Brook 21-14. And it was a game where Gordy and I talked about it during the broadcast. It seemed like it was the first time that offensively you got into a rhythm running the football, which we hadn't seen in the first four games.
I'd say we got into a rhythm, period. I went and looked at the third down stats, which are highly indicative of basically rhythm. Like the more times you convert on third down, the odds are you're going to win. And we ended up being over 60% for the entire game and somewhere near 75 to 80% in the first half, which is relatively unheard of, especially against good football teams. So there was a confidence both in the passing game and the running game. We just didn't shoot ourselves in the foot. We really didn't, and because of it, we had success.
It was an odd game in that in the first quarter, each team only had the ball once. How often do you see that?
I don't think I ever have. They said, somebody asked me in another, like, how would you describe the first quarter? Like, probably the most efficient offensive football you would ever see. Like, it wasn't grandiose. There weren't monstrous plays by either team, but it was chunks here and there. Like the percentages say that after you get past 8 plays in a drive, you're not going to score, because the more plays you take in a row, the more tired you get, the more mistakes you're going to make. Those were like 14 and 15 play drives by both teams. I looked up, the first quarter was over. I've never seen that before. That's kind of weird.
It was weird. And you even commented to Ben Rosenbaum at halftime that was one of the fastest halves of football that you had seen.
Ever.
Yeah, it was quick. And the last 2 minutes took probably as long as the previous 20.
First quarter. That's true.
But you get the victory, 21-14. Defense played well. Offense played well. Special teams played well. Something that you can build upon and something that the team really needed after playing a very difficult early portion of the schedule and finally reaping some rewards from their hard work.
And getting to see the fruits of their labor and confidence, build confidence behind it. And that was pretty much that was the hardest thing to do for all of us. We all know we're a good football team. Played a grind of a schedule, made some mistakes in New Hampshire, but having to do all that and then have a bye week and not get a chance to play and not get a chance to win. Going into that game, we've probably been as focused as I've ever seen one of our teams. And obviously showed off on the back end. Clearly we didn't play as well as we could play, which, left at least 10 points on the field. Easy 10 points. A makeable field goal and handing the ball away on the 1 yard line to them. That's kind of crazy. And when you think about how you probably would evaluate the perspective of the games, you probably look at the game a little differently if it's plus 10 points. And our plus 10 would have been -7 from them. So we said it a couple weeks ago, we're just going to stop worrying about anything. We're just trying to get better. Trying to get better. And practice hard during the bye week, got better, showed on Saturday. Practice hard during the week, get better, shows on Saturday.
Well, this Saturday you're going to have to play better because you're playing the first place team, a surprising first place team in the CAA. The Rams of Rhode Island will come into Johnny Unitas Stadium. Homecoming, which is always a great day for the alums. 4 o'clock game. We hope everybody will come out to Johnny Unitas Stadium. Kasem Hill. You've seen him before.
I have.
Not at Rhode Island, but you've seen him before when he was the quarterback of the Maryland Terrapins in 2017. And he had a good day against you. I think it was like 10 of 12 for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns. So obviously you know how talented he is.
Oh gosh, yes. And as he made his transfer travels around the world, we had actually discussed the possibility of him coming home. And he found a home in Rhode Island. He's doing a great job. He's running the offense almost perfectly, but I give the offensive staff credit. They built that thing around their personnel. It's not flashy, it's not crazy, but it's solid and it's consistent. To be honest, they found a way to control the football, not beat themselves, and beat good competition. And the good news for us is they really haven't stepped out of New England. They've just been living that northern life, and they barely left their own campus. So they get to come to our place for homecoming. So I expect our crowd to certainly be a difference maker. Which camera am I supposed to be looking at? That camera right there. I hope our crowd's making a big difference come Saturday. Come on, it's homecoming. We all went to school here. Bring your kids. Show them how cool this school is. It's cooler now than it was when we went to school here. Go to the football game. What did I say last week? It's going to be the best part of Parents Weekend, right? tailgating, football game, it's awesome. What happened? Tailgating was awesome. Football game was awesome. Come do that again.
And there was a good crowd on Saturday.
There was a great crowd on Saturday.
7,000. Now, one of the people that will be in the crowd on the field is familiar with Towson University, and that's their defensive back, Kobe Tippett, who transferred from Towson to Rhode Island. And he's off to a very good start for the Rams.
He is. They put him in a very, very good position. He's the leader of that defense. Which isn't a surprise. Closer to home, closer to family, and it's been a really great experience for him. So we're not necessarily rooting for them, but he's one of us in some way, so we root for him a little.
Now, also speaking of one of us, last week the Rams beat the Delaware Blue Hens. You happen to be close to a member of the coaching staff of the Delaware Blue Hens, and your brother Jared, the offensive coordinator. You don't play Delaware this year.
Correct.
So, any conversations going on between the brothers this week about what he saw last week?
You're just not even trying, right? You just put it out there. My brother and I speak weekly. We've acknowledged probably about a week or two ago that it's really cool that we play in the same league, but this year we don't play each other. So we started off during camp, we weren't even talking to each other. Let's keep our cards close. I don't have any cards. You can't see my cards. And we figured we're not playing each other. Who cares this year? And we've been a good sounding board for each other. He validated some of the things that I'd seen on film. And in reverse, they're playing Stony Brook. So I validated some of the things that he had seen on film, which is always good from someone who is knowledgeable and trustworthy.
What is the difference between Rhode Island this year and in years past where they weren't being as successful as they are now? You talked about Kasem Hill. What else have they done to upgrade this program?
I think you're talking about a bunch of guys who have all matured. I probably, in most of all the teams in this league, you're going to see a lesser degree of mistakes because of the extra year, because guys are just more life mature, they're more focused, they understand when they need to be focused. So you're talking about just older, wiser kids at every school. They've had a good schedule. Our conference schedule is a pleasing one so far. They haven't played a 1A opponent yet, so there hasn't been a big war for them to fight and thus play league competition. And they haven't left home. But the bigger thing is that, and I told our kids this, I said the thing that makes them the most dangerous is that they believe in each other. It's not even about the talent. The talent differential in our league is all about health. Who's healthy? Everybody's pretty good. Everybody's got a good player. Everybody's got a good player. Can they stay healthy? And do they believe in each other? And do they play together? And these kids have lost for years and got tired of losing. It's a little something about that. And if done the right way, once they gain a little bit of confidence, they can be dangerous. And they are. And the number 12 team in the country.
You had guys step in last week, hadn't played since the Morgan game. Lumar came up with a big play. What does he add to your defense?
Oh, he's a tremendous pass rusher. I mean, he was Big Ten. He was one of the top 5 in the league when he was there at Rutgers. And he's got a great first step. And the cool thing about him, for me personally, is that you talk about these guys in their transfers. He comes in and he's already had a career at Rutgers and he's well thought of. And he could be a standoffish type of guy. I'm sending the guys over to sing the fight song after we win with the band and the fans. He's one of the first guys over there. He's all about that. To have a talent like that buy into our program, to buy into the institution, that's pretty cool. That's really, really cool. And you said the other guy, I got some other guys that didn't play. Difference makers. The more we can keep these guys healthy, the better we're going to be. There's some special players out there.
All right, we'll show up to the game on Saturday, and maybe Mr. Lumar and the rest of his teammates will be there on the sideline cheering you on as you watch the Tigers play Rhode Island this Saturday. It is homecoming, 4 o'clock, Johnny Unitas Stadium. We'd like to thank everybody at Barley's Backyard for having us here. And again, come on out anytime, right on York Road, about 3 blocks from campus. But then again, campus keeps growing, so who knows?
Campus is Towson. Come on, it's going to be the best time. Come to the game. Come to the game. Come to the game, make some noise, have some fun. Tailgating's really fun. And when you're done, come to Barley's. It's pretty fun up here.
For the head coach of the Tigers, Rob Ambrose, I'm Spiro Maurikas. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you again next week on another edition of the Tiger Football Report.